Hey guys, I'm Isaac, and I just wanted to talk to you about ancient Egypt. Now there are many different views on like how the pyramids got there and stuff, and even the people who are very much into like the logic and science of everything, even they can't come up with like a way that these pyramids would have gotten there. And really, if we think about like, you know, the Israelites being slaves to the Egyptians for 400 years, we still can't conclude that they would have been the ones to make them because, well, not only are some of the pyramids lined up almost perfectly to the stars, only 1% off, or 1 degree off, that is, but also the shape of these pyramids and the just the general design is so complicated that people couldn't do it. I mean, if you look at it, there's no way, especially at that time, unless, and even this is like kind of far out there, but unless they did have better technology, but even then, how do you get 1 degree off the stars, right? How do you get these pyramids to be 1 degree off the stars? And the only way you could do that is if you knew exactly where those stars were. And of course, really what I'm getting at is that there would have had to have been some kind of a holy angel, some being from the heavens that came down and, I would go as far to say, made the pyramids. And of course, we can't, there are more things there than just the pyramids. When we talk about ancient Egypt, there's a lot of things that are just that are just so far out there that science just doesn't seem to be able to confirm or explain. And like what we see with these carvings, a lot of the people are just, oh, those were just missed. Those aren't, we can't go by those, or they were just, creating whatever. But what we see is actually that, there's a certain, I don't know, there's a certain real aspect to it. Like it looks like you couldn't just make it up. Like there's something there that just at least tells me like this could very well be legit. Like they could be carving things that they saw, things that they did, kind of like like cave carvings and things. Um, uh, and so um, what we see a lot of, getting into these carvings, they're showing their gods and goddesses, and a lot of these cases, some of them do actually show like giants, creatures that could easily be 3 times the size of your average human being, that being 18 feet, and minimum 12, easy. And of course, we know that giants exist because in Genesis 6:4 it says, yeah, here we go. And there were giants on the earth in those days and after, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men. They were the kings, the warriors, so on and so forth. So we know that giants exist, which makes it so those carvings are now even more likely to be real. And something else is, when we look at these gods and goddesses that we see on these, of course they're false. They're not actually gods and goddesses, but what we see on these carvings, these are fallen angels. They came from the heavens. They know what the heavens look like. Um, and so when they come down, okay, they have the ability to create things. Now remember, these are very powerful beings. They're not human. Okay, they're pretty much immortal. I mean, they're in a body. They can be killed, but they won't die of natural causes. They have no set, like, this is when you're going to die. Once again, they cannot die of natural causes. So so when these beings come from the heavens, they could, like I said, they could easily make these pyramids. And some of them, if you look at them, they look like landing platforms. And even, you can even kind of, in your mind, you can kind of put like if you imagine a UFO, you can kind of fit it there. And there's even like steps where they could like put down, like, you know what I mean, like they could walk down those steps and then, hang out with the Egyptians. There's so much there that's just insane. And, once again, the scientists can't explain it. So it's like, okay, well, there's something big here. There's something that we have to look into. There's something, there, and then of course we get to the reason why they're lying to us about this, and it has to. I mean, only the truth will set you free. That's what the Bible says, and thereby we can assume that lies kind of they do the opposite. They make slaves of us. And so, that could be the goal. Certain things are lied about in order to, keep us in line, get us to, to get us to believe what the government wants us to believe. And oftentimes that's about hiding spiritual things. It's about getting us to be dependent on the government and not God. Which obviously is, I mean, we need to be dependent on God and not the government, not the corrupt, evil, of course I repeated myself there, but it's really, it's corrupt, it's greedy, it's selfish. There's no reason to be dependent on the government. No good reason at all. And so back to the more, the topic at hand here. What we can really... what we can really take in here is that fallen angels do exist, and that, something to keep in mind is that people don't generally just make things up, especially when they're that detailed. Like, I think that's the big thing. These carvings are so detailed that it's like, there's no way they're fake. There's no way they just came up with something, And then we get into and then we get into fallen angels and the fact that they would if we look at fallen angels and we compare them to, people, they would seem like gods. Like, if you don't have the Bible to tell you what they are, that says, hey, this is, fallen angels do exist and you have to be, careful what you follow, and giants exist and all these beings, it's like, what the heck else would you think they are? These are immensely smart beings that are capable of things that no human can even, most people won't even think to do some of these things because they just can't do it. It's not even worth trying, And so, it's I don't know, it's very interesting to me. Another big thing is that the pyramids have I don't know, I guess I probably already said this, but something I'd like to go a little bit more in detail. It's the pyramids go down really deep into the ground, and most maps don't show these things. And I think, like I said, once again, I really believe, there's something common here, a common trend where they get rid of spiritual things. And like I said, I really believe it's to get us to be dependent on the government and not God. But it's just really interesting. I would look, because I should be cutting it short here now. I would look into God Rules videos because he's really, that channel is really good. It does go into more detail on this. And keep an eye out for my next video. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.